Hey everybody! Maybe you'll remember if you've been following me long enough that some time ago we reviewed Emil here. Emil's a really cute character, and I was rather surprised with how much I liked him. I remember starting the review thinking, maybe he wasn't for me, but by the end actually saying that he was one of the more favorite designs I had when I was going through the earlier renditions of the Polynian line. Now regardless of if you call him Emir or Emil or whatever it may be, this figure was actually really cool, and I feel like it went a bit under-loved for a while because the prices of this weren't very high for the longest time, but it seems in recent time it has shot up quite a bit. Now, thankfully, they've re-released this figure with some enhancements, and that would be today's figure. So yeah, now we have Eimie, I guess. Yeah, that's a female version of Emir, supposedly. But either way, this character is actually really cute, and there's some interesting enhancements, so let's take a closer look at the box. Now, in keeping with the theme of alternate versions, this is listed as figure number 5A, yet funny enough, it wasn't listed as Emir female version or Emir whatever color alt, but it is its own character in Eimie, so that's cool. If you remember, there was a later part that came out for Emir where you could change out his pelvis and the hair on the side of his head to make him a girl, because of course he's very feminine. And thus, they've actually included those parts with this one here, which is a nice addition. And we can see now that Emir has a new color scheme as Eimie. And rather than being the orange and brown and the warmer colors, we're getting a bit of a strange mix of green, be it fluorescent up top or some desaturated mint down here in the shorts, with of course a darker outfit in the middle rather than that lighter tan. This is a pretty interesting color scheme, though I don't know if I would have went with this for the alternate version of Emir. Either way, it is rather cute. This is just adorable. I absolutely love that expression on the female character. This looks so sweet and so adorable, very welcoming. A really cute pose on the other side, somewhat shy, maybe just waking up and walking to school with the briefcase in hand, rather adorable. And on the back, of course, there is quite a few poses here, and of course, the most important is to show off the robo booty. Gotta love those robo cheeks. Oh yeah. But now, let's open it up and take a look inside. And we have a very clean display in here. I'm actually surprised at how clean this front window is. It looks wonderful, and it really does show off the figure rather well, despite it being wrapped in plastic. Then, of course, on this side, we have some pictures of Emir, or Eimie, I guess now, because they're going more so with the female version. And we have both color versions up top, and then, of course, some additional details in regards to the accessory, and the different pelvis, and all the other stuff here, which is rather cute, but let's not get too into checking out all that Japanese text, and let's open this box. And here she is, and right out of the packaging, I'm actually really impressed with how beautiful this one looks. The colors are incredibly vibrant, despite what it looked like on the box. If you look on the box here, it's far more desaturated. That mint green of the shorts is incredibly plain on this box, almost so grayish, really. And then the darker green of the uniform almost looks like a black. It's so dark on the box, but here, this is incredibly beautiful. And the hair even, that desaturated green on the box is kind of pukey, but on here, it's a nice, bright, fluorescent green, and I'm actually really happy for that. And I've got to say, without a hat on or anything, she really does look a lot different from Emir. When you put them side by side, yeah, definitely they could be from the same family, but I mean, I really like this. It really makes me wish that I had the additional feminization parts for Emir so that I could see how he looks as a girl next to this one, but either way, let's get further into this review. Like most Polynian figures, she's just about 5 inches tall, which makes her a 1/12 scale. And Poseability right out of the box is, of course, perfect. This is a Polynian that we love because of these wonderful ball peg joints. These are interesting in the fact that they can go in and out, and they have a swivel at typically each one. So let's go over that now. The head can go up and down. Of course, you can swivel it side to side, and you can even roll it quite a bit with the way that it'll pivot. Now the arms have the same in and out, and that can also be swiveled so that you can get plenty of articulation there. The elbow is much in the same, in which it gets an in and out and a swivel at either side, which allows you to do plenty with that too. It can be rolled about quite well. As well as the wrist has another small ball peg joint which can go in and out and swivel at the joint. Luckily, we have a nice ball peg joint right here in the middle of the abdomen, which allows for a slight crunch forward. This is a much softer plastic now, so this does actually have the ability to bend forward, which is great. And of course, she can also bend backwards quite nicely at an almost 90-degree angle. And of course, that can also be swiveled to let her dance around. Additionally, both legs are on the same joints, and we already showed that they can go in and out, which is a rather nice far kick, and of course that can swivel to whatever way you like at both sides of the joint, giving you plenty of articulation there. That's actually a rather cute pose with her leg kicked like that. And then additionally, the knee is also on a ball peg, which goes in and out and swivels at either side. The foot finally is on the same joint, which can very limitedly move around depending on the way that it is pivoted. There we go. So if you make sure that it's the right way, you can get a lot better articulation. It'll go up and down. It'll go side to side just a little bit. It'll do what you need it to do, but not too much. Another great thing about the Polynians is they typically have a little peg in the bottom of the foot, which allows them to plug into their stand. A nice quick plug, and this thing can get right in there, and this does a pretty good job of keeping it in place, though even without it, you can get these things to stand rather decently. Now, of course, as a Polynian, she does come with plenty of accessories, so let's go over those now. Like any awesome Polynian figure, you can unplug the hair and remove the face. Then with that done, you can choose a new emotion, plug it in, plug the hair back in, and now Eimie is greeting you with quite the seductive wink. Hey there, beautiful. Additionally, Eimie comes with this really delighted, happy face. It's almost like so happy that they're relieved that maybe something bad didn't happen. I love it. There's so much expression in this face, and it's really adorable. She has a pair of open hands. She has a pair of closed fists.
Fight me, senpai.
And she has a pair of closed accessory fists as well. And of course, these accessory fists are great to transition us into the next accessories. And one such accessory would be this little school briefcase. This of course has a handle and a peg on the back, and this can be plugged into her hand, onto her waist, or even onto her back. It's a very simple fitting and it plugs in rather easily, and there's really no problem there. It can move about of course because it's a peg, and you can do plenty with it. You can plug it into her side. I don't know how much sense that makes for her to be wearing a suitcase on her side, but you know, to each their own, right? She's a robot, she can do what she wants. And of course, if you plug it into her hand, it's a very simple plug. And there you have it. It looks great.
But Kingu, what about my other hand? I have another open accessory fist. What else could I hold?
Well, Eimie, I'm glad you asked. Let's go ahead and give you a gun. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why, but every school student needs a nice little blaster, right? This thing can be plugged right into her hand, or additionally, it has a peg and it can plug in on her waist as well. It shows her on the box with it plugged into her waist, and I guess it sort of makes sense because it's a pistol. You can kind of use it like a holster, but it seems a little bit immersion breaking for her to have a gun. Either way, whatever, you can plug it into the hand very easily, just like so.
Wow, that's awesome. Now I have a weapon, but I kind of feel a little cold. Maybe if I had something on my head.
Well, well, don't you fret, Eimie. We have one last accessory for you, and it is in the form of a hat. This little hat is the same as the one that came with Emil, and it is rather nice with the green color scheme. Doesn't seem to be any problems with this one. If you can recall, on my Emil review, there was actually some issues with this having some scratches on it, but it does not. And of course, these little tendrils that fell off right now are also poseable, so they are on pegs and they can kind of go up and down. And then of course, it has a peg to actually plug it into the head. So very easy to work with, and yeah, let's get it in there. Oh, and it actually says Eimie on it. That's adorable. Oh, I'm an idiot. I didn't even realize that Emir's also had his name on it as well. So you can plug this into the empty pigtail spot, or you could even plug it into the very back of the head. Either side works fine unless you want to style it a certain way. So just go ahead and plug that in. And for some reason, this is incredibly satisfying to me to just lower the hat onto the head. Like I said, I don't know why. And I didn't mean to lie to you, but there's one last accessory. It's this adorable little bracelet that Emil also came with. So if your other one got loose, then this is a nice replacement. So all it does is it clips right onto the wrist of the character. It's a bit hard to show it fastening, but it really just kind of clips on and it goes into that negative area where the actual indent is for the circle. Really cute and a nice little touch for the character. And of course, it matches the accents of red in the tie as well as the hair bow. So rather cute.
Wow, Kingu, that's awesome. You gave me a hat, a gun, and a briefcase. You brought me out of that crummy box, and now I can live my life. But what if I decide I kind of want to be a boy?
Oh, well, I suppose you could do that. I hope you're ready for this. So now that all the accessories are removed, let's go ahead and change up the gender here. Let's go ahead and remove that pigtail. A very simple plug, very easy to remove. And then, look at that. Wow, we've already done half the work and his hand fell off. But in all honesty, you have quite a girly pelvis there, boy.
I know, I don't have the right tools for the job.
Come on, let's figure this out. Unplug the waist joint, and then it will allow you to remove this middle piece. And this, I will say, is a big improvement over the other ones. This is usually a very big point of contention for me. These almost never fit well, and they constantly fall apart. So thank you so much, Daibadi, for fixing that issue. Go into the back and unplug this little thing, and then that will allow you to remove the pants. Oh my, look at that butt. What is wrong with that butt? That is a sad butt. Anyway... Unplug the legs, and now go ahead and retrieve your boy pelvis. You can tell that it's one because, well, you can see that. Go ahead and plug in your legs. Now go ahead and put the trunks back on the character and plug in the little piece in the back. Now take your middle piece and plug that uniform part right back in. Finally, you can lower the midsection into the abdomen, and you've got a full figure. And just like that.
Oh, goodness. Wow. Well, thank you for giving birth to me as a newfound boy character. Why did my nationality change?
I'm not quite sure, Emil, but I guess you're Eimie, but you're boy Eimie, so I don't know what to call you. Either way, welcome to the squad. And you know what? I think that's enough for me to reach my final verdict. Obviously, she's not terribly different from Emir, but that color change and, of course, the female parts are a refreshing enough addition to make this seem like its own character. It almost makes me not want to pose her as a male character, because I just love her so much more with that additional pigtail. It's hard to find anything that I don't like. The color scheme looks so much nicer in person once you get her out of the box, and I really do appreciate a coat of fresh paint. The QC errors are few. There's stuff that you would pretty much have to look for to be mad about, and to be honest, it seems like there's less and less with every release in the Polynian line. They've been doing a lot good with these, and I'm really excited to see what comes next. The only thing that I dislike that I would change would be maybe giving her an additional accessory or two. Something to make her just stick out a little bit more would be nice. But regardless, she's still awesome, and I absolutely love this figure. Enough so that I'm going to give her a 9 out of 10. This was a wonderful figure, and I really do like it, so I'm glad I got her, despite it just being a color swap. But what do you think of this figure? Why don't you comment below and tell me what you think about Eimie? Did you like this video? If so, then please leave a like on the video, and subscribe because I make figure reviews every week. I'm going to link another figure review here for Emir, so if you want to go back and check that out, please do so. Even if you have seen it, go ahead and click the video and it helps the channel out. But with all that out of the way, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you folks next week for another figure review, and until then, have an awesome weekend and keep on collecting.